So good morning, everyone, and welcome to a Viva Cafe con Leche. Oh, I forgot who I was for a minute. Oh my God. I was going to say I'm the Gladiator Guru, and welcome to I am Lori Monaco, also known as the Badass Buddha, coming to you from a dreary southern Connecticut, where it is raining and it is only about 40 degrees. Blah. My least favorite combination: rain and cold. But rain, right? Spring rain brings April showers. It's not April, but March showers bring April and May flowers. We're going to rename it. So I'm looking forward to all the water for that. Okay. Anyway, so who am I? My name is Lori Monaco. Again, my business is Align Yourself Inc. I am one of the fabulous co-hosts of Viva Cafe con Leche. So welcome. I am an author. I am a speaker, teacher, coach, specializing in narcissistic relationships, toxic relationships, and narcissistic abuse syndrome and mindfulness practice. And I'm also a chiropractor. And I'm done.
You are done. Take a bow, darling. Take a bow. Hola, mi gente. Aquí con la Margarita, the Gladiator Guru. Who am I? I am a magically orgasmic being who dresses in black but lives and thinks in vibrant colors. I am Mother Moon's favorite child. I am a lover of laughter, of love, and of dance. And I am your sacred healer, your spiritual coach, your end-of-life doula. I am your poet, writer, author. And what else am I? Your wedding officiant. Come see about me, and I got you. I am La Margarita. I am La Margarita who believes in feeding your spirit, nurturing your ego, loving your body, and breathing this life full of grace to nourish your soul. Good morning, mi gente, La Margarita.
I'm ready to sing that song now, right? Was that Diana Ross or just Diana Ross of the Supremes? It was the Supremes, right? Come see about me, baby. Right? There we go. All right. Good morning, Chenille. Good morning, Tiffany, Milagros, Kathy, Iritza, Tata. Good morning. And remember our tribe. Share, share, share. Don't be a square. Don't forget to share. Oh, that was really lame. But
you just sounded very
white. White and from the 50s. White and from the 50s.
I bet at least Chenille says, sing it, girl. Go, Lori. Go, Lori. That's right. You know, because when you rise every morning, it's supposed to be like I got like 2.5 hours sleep. But I always get up and the alarm go off and I did hit snooze a bit. And then I said, and I saved my gratitude before I get up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Lead the way, Father God. I shall follow. Let's make today great. I get up, I kiss myself. Good morning, Margarita. And then I'm up like, okay, I'm excited. And that's why I say I am always dressed in black, right? Always. And sometimes I'll say, I'm not going to wear black today. And the difference with that is I'll go with a little speck of color somewhere on my outfit. But it's still black. But the thing is the vibrancy and the energy that you bring early in the morning so that Dr. Lori Monaco, the Badass Buddha, can sing. I thought she was going to sing the song of Margarita, but it's still good.
I just don't know it. I don't know listen, if I can memorize the Spanish, I will sing it to you because I have memorized songs in Spanish before and I've sung them. So if that is your request, I will grant that for you and I will do that for you.
There's good Carmen said, Lori's a singer now, LOL, add it to the list. And that's right. You know, when people would always say, what can
I don't think we want to add that.
I would always say, I can't sing or sew. I can tape and iron. If the button's missing, oh my God, I got to get creative with that. And so, but you know what? When we're so focused on it, I can't sing. And I sing. I might sing offbeat, you know, a bit tone deaf, but I'm going to sing because I love to sing. So, and you know what? Who's to say we're not bad singers? We're not auditioning for Elvis Presley backup singers, only because I love Elvis.
Elvis Presley, gee.
I love Elvis Presley.
I know why you said it, but wow, that was.
I love Elvis Presley. So with that, it's like vibrancy. You gotta have that energy. You gotta, you can either be like a little slug getting up in the morning, or get up like the turtle and be like, all right, time to put that hard shell on and get things done and start doing it. And I think that's what Viva Cafe con Leche is all about. Every Tuesday and Thursday, we get up here and we're like, bam, let's do this. So
That's right.
my spirit is vibrant. Feed your spirit, mi gente. Feed it kindness. Feed it gratitude every morning. Feed it self-trust. Lori's a mindset coach. I'm a spiritual coach. She'll tell you how to discard all the negative thoughts. I'm going to teach you how to feed your spirit so that it is no longer malnourished. It is no longer starving, so that then you can, in turn, change those thought patterns that are up here, because everything has to be in alignment. And love your body. I'm loving my body to the point where I don't see it as skinny or fat, but I need it to be healthy. And that's how we go, and we let it go. And then we got to remember that Marilyn Monroe was a beast, a sex bomb, and she was a size 14.
Yes, but everybody brings that up, and we've talked about that before. But the size, and it varies. Actually, she was anywhere between that and an 8. She would fluctuate, and as Hollywood is, and that size back then is not the same as the 814 now. It is they estimate that she was more like by today's standards, she was more like a size 3 to 7. But she was voluptuous.
Well, who wrote that? Because did you see pictures of her? There's pictures where she's thin, and there's a picture of her walking backwards, and you can tell she is not less than a 10.
No, I don't disagree with that. The reason they say that is because this is one of the things that have happened over the years. Not that I want to get in this conversation today, but they've changed the sizes. So what we think is a 12 is bigger than it used to be. So it represents.
Yeah, those are name brands. Because when I worked for Dress for Success and I ran that thrift store back in 2003, 2004, they do. The more expensive the brand, the smaller they want it to be on a tag, but it's really so that the women won't feel like they're, you know what? Be proud in the size that you're wearing and work towards the size that you want, but the size that you want, not because you want to impress any man, and not because you want to compete with any skinny, flat stomach, firm-chested woman. Wear your tits with grace.
Yeah.
And that's what you do.
Mine have never been firm. They've always just kind of hung down, and they weren't even big. That's the funny part, was they weren't even big and they hung. How is that right in the world? I could see if I was very large chested and they hung down, that would make perfect sense. But come on, man. Like, seriously, it's small and hanging. Just, it's not right. That's all I'm saying. And it's also not right when they're up here. Like when you could rest, when you rest your head on them, something. You just put your hands up. Yeah. So how's everybody going today? All right. That's not necessarily age. And that's what our conversation is today, right? It's about age. It's about aging gracefully.
But with age comes the loss of gravity as well. So let's get on with this conversation. We have fabulous women on today.
Yes, we do. And so for those guests, our guests are in the back in the green room, and we want to just remind them to put their links. So put your links in the private chat. So I know you're hearing us. Put your links in the private chat so that we can share them with the tribe. We lost one. Karen seemed to disappear. She was here first and then she disappeared. So hopefully she'll just jump back on. We still need to set our intention, and we need to do our mantra, right? What did Chanel, and no bra. Yeah. I haven't worn a bra since I got back since Costa Rica, not back from. I didn't wear a bra the whole time in Costa Rica. It's been phenomenal. I love it. So, all right. You ready, Gladiator Guru? Let's set the intention and we'll get rocking and rolling with our guests. So the intention, as always, on Viva And by the way, good morning, Facebook, good morning, YouTube, and good morning, those in the clubhouse listening on the rebroadcast. We appreciate you being here. So our intention, let's go, ladies, and the few gentlemen that are here, they need to shut up in the background. That's what you need to tell them. So here we go. Today, the intention is to be intentional, and
grateful. Lead the day with gratitude.
Yes, absolutely. And here we go. We're going to do our mantra. Say it loud, say it proud, shout it out. If you are able to, even if you are not able to, really just get everybody to understand and hear you. So here we go. I am a disruptor. I know the Gladiator Guru's muted because of the background noise. I am unapologetically courageous. I miss hearing your voice, girlfriend. I am spiritually grounded.
I am muted on purpose. There's contractors here.
Oh, I know. I am magically orgasmic. And I am beyond authentic. Fabulous.
And I keep it as real as I can and as real as I am.
That way. Oh my God. Listen, see, this is what happens. We get the conversation going with No Bra and Ellen. We're glad to see you. You looks like a new person. No Bra, easy for you to say. I've been a D to triple D since I was 16. Oh, see, this is the way it works though, right? Especially with women, right? I've always been small. I only got boobs once I got heavier and I had kids. And so what we don't have, we want, right? So you don't want the big ones. I don't want the small ones. I had curly hair. I didn't want curly hair. I wanted straight. Everybody that I know has straight hair wanted curly. And now this is interesting, right? As we age, we relax a little bit, I think. You know, it's not that it's I don't like to use the word acceptance, like we accept things, because accepting things is telling us that like we've given up. It's like a tolerance. I don't believe in that. What I believe is that as we've gotten older, we've grown to appreciate ourselves and love ourselves better. Not every woman is like that. A lot of women still bring in, as they age, this insecurity that started when they were children, and they may never fully come into themselves. And again, that's the point of this show. That has always been what we do on this show. And this week is no exception. You know, on Tuesday, we talked, the title of that show was Aging the Warrior Way. And we gave you the definition on becoming a warrior. What does that mean? And today we are bringing a roundtable discussion. If we get everybody up here, we keep seeing women pop in and out. We have 3 fabulous guests, and we're going to have them introduce themselves. And we see one was on, then we lost her. Another one couldn't get on, and one is still on. So this is great. So hopefully they'll pop in as they can. And we're going to have a roundtable discussion. We love our roundtables. We have them maybe 2-3 times a year on what is your favorite age. And we want you as the tribe to also chime in on that. We want you to put in there, you know, what is your favorite age? It could be one age. It could be multiple ages. It could be a decade. So we'll start this just quickly before we bring the guests on. So Gladiator Guru, what do you say for yourself? What's your favorite age?
My favorite age is now. Since the age of 50, entering my 50s, it has become my favorite age. And I'm grateful for all the other ages before, because it created this path for me to love everything about my life now. All the tragedies, all the trauma, the drama, the chaos, jumping off the wave of that chaos on and off. And now I'm just floating in the lazy river with it, because nothing can bother me, because it's like I've mastered the majority of my emotional state of thinking, my emotional state of feeling. And now that I'm in my 50s, it's like there is absolutely nothing I cannot do. There's nothing I cannot love. And there's nothing I cannot discard from my life, because everything is possible at this age.
I love it. I love it. I'm going to say for me that my 40s were very transforming for me, especially my my mid 40s because that's when I hit my lowest place and then came out of it. I definitely like my 50s. I really do. I love my 50s, and I feel that I'm 52, and I feel like this is my decade. This is my decade to really shine. My 20s were fun. My early 20s, I had a lot of adventures, but I definitely really love my 50s. I think that I'm very secure in my 50s, which is fabulous. So, all right, here we go. We have our guests. I see them. They're coming back on. And again, so we have everybody's stuff in the private chat. So here's what we're going to do, ladies. I know you're hearing us. So we're going to pull you up. We're going to have each of you introduce yourself. And actually, I think what we'll do is we'll pull you up one at a time. You introduce yourself and a little bit about, your business. And then we'll start this absolutely fabulous conversation. Okay. So here we go. We're going to do one at a time, just so it's a little bit easier that way. So, all right. Ms. Gulrukh, can you please introduce yourself? Fabulous queen.
Thank you. Thank you. I have to let you know that I've had a dental procedure. I am in Bombay, and there's a lot of dust from the construction going on outside my window. So I'm wearing the mask to avoid infection. So forget about the mask.
And you know what? I think you told us that you were having this procedure and you weren't even sure if you were getting here. So we're happy that you're here and in Bombay. I mean, of all, like, coming
Yeah.
from the other side. So we are
Yeah.
honored. So tell everybody about how fabulous you are and what you do.
So I have always been full of enthusiasm and passion for my inner self ever since I was a kid. There was an inner, a core which called out more than the outer to me. And later I would say my spirit of enthusiasm. And I found myself very unique. I found myself completely different. Growing up through, of course, what all girls go through,
Oh,
striving
no. Is it just me or are we
like
losing her? You're muted.
and
It's not me, right? It's not
No,
just
no,
me.
she's in it.
Okay.
that's ascension.
Ulrich, we're having trouble hearing you. You keep going in and out. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna just go on to the next person. And what'd you say, Margie? Are you talking to me? I can't tell if you're talking to me. This is
Yeah. Then we'll get back to it. Like, keep her on so when her
okay. All right, Karen, you're up. So we're gonna. Good morning, Karen. Fabulous,
Hey,
fabulous.
good morning. Oh, it's so good to be with you guys.
If you didn't hear us, Gulrukh, you were cutting out. So we're gonna pause you for a second. We're gonna bring Karen up, and then as soon as you get a good connection, then you can finish what you were saying, because we were so into it, we didn't hear you. So Miss Karen, it is your turn.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm Karen Stultz, creator of the Awesome Life Success System to help coaches and healers create an awesome life for themselves and their businesses. I am not a business coach. I am not a doctor, but I am a healer for those online coaches with the Awesome Life Success. I've developed the heart energy techniques for healing almost anything that might be blocking you. And if you are not successful in what you're doing and enjoying life on the terms that you want to enjoy life, then there might be something blocked. As I found, it took me a while. It's a learning experience, and it's going on and on and on. But each day is better. We're moving forward each day. And when we finally let go of the gradu that we don't even know that we have, life is just awesome. And I think we were talking about age today, correct? Different ages.
Yeah. Yes, it's the
anyway,
title is "What's Your Favorite Age?" And that's what we're going to ask all of you ladies. I have to listen. I have to say this. This is funny. So Gladiator Guru has background noise. She's muted, which she's usually not this quiet. I'm going to tell you. Gulrukh is in Bombay and having connection issues. My kid has some sort of alarm going off in the background that I have to deal with and turn off because it keeps going. So, and then we have Dr. Ljung, who can't seem to get on her device. We see the device is not connected. So this just shows you how the way it works is we have to just go with the flow. We have to go with the flow. And what we want to do for you ladies is to have the both of you speak about what is your favorite age. So let's have Gulrukh go first, and I'm going to see if I can reach out to Dr. Ljung and see if I can help her get on. And I'm going to mute myself for now. So Gulrukh, you go ahead, and Karen, you jump in as you need to. If Gulrukh is having trouble with connections, then we'll monitor as we go. Sounds like a plan, everyone? All right. So Gulrukh, please,
Perfect.
What's your favorite age? Can we hear you? We can't hear you.
He's freezing again.
Okay, the connection must not be that good in Bombay. Okay, Karen, how about you start then? Let's have you start.
Well, I'm not sure about my connection either, but you know what? It's just like you said. You got to go with the flow, and otherwise it just brings a lot of tension, irritation that is totally unnecessary in life. And the earlier we learn that, the better life will be. There's no question about that. So that question, going up through, I had great years, not knowing who I was, up until around age 40. When I hit 40, I went into a depression for over a year. Well, actually, it was just about a year. Then I hit 50, and oh my gosh, the world opened up. It was awesome. And then by 60, it was, whoa, this is great. I am finally opening up and recognizing that there is a whole lot more into this world, that the universe, God, spirit, divine, whatever, is a real entity of support and love. And oh my goodness. And then by age 70, actually it was around 69, I was finally able to let go of all of the gradu keeping me from being successful in my work. Everyone's definition of success is different. So that's what we work with. And my definition of success was not successful. But about 2 years ago, things shifted. I was able to let go of the stuff that I didn't know I even had. And everything has just turned around. So now at 71, I am just enjoying every day, moving forward, living fully. And it is grand. It is the way things should be. I'm meeting more people like you guys.
I think that's the beautiful part, and thank you for sharing your age. That this is the important thing. And Gulrukh, I would love it if you would share your age too when you jump onto the conversation, because sometimes we put time limits. Not sometimes, a lot of times. I'm too old, I can't, and we just set those limitations up. And I have to say, even sometimes I'll start calculating in my head, okay, I'm just coming into my own in my 50s. What does that mean? How much longer do I have, on this earth, potentially speaking, and I just have to go with the flow and just say, you know what, I'm just going to keep moving forward. And that's the reason why we wanted to have this show, was for the women out there, because our demographic is anywhere between like 35 and up, generally speaking, women. And we wanted them to know, like, this is, just keep going. If you feel stuck, that doesn't mean that you can't keep moving forward, and you can redefine yourself. And we really especially wanted Dr. Ljung on here because Dr. Ljung is 80, if I remember correctly, Gladiator Guru, right? I think she's 82. And she is she's still going to school. Like she's adding, she's already a doctor, and she's adding more to her repertoire. And so that's the important thing, is that we keep moving forward. So
right. And Karen, thank you. And where is go?
I don't know. She fell off now. So
I hope she comes back. Karen, thank you. Just listening and watching your body flow with excitement as you explain the different phases and admitted that you were letting go of things you didn't even know you were holding on to. That right there is brilliant. And I think that's where we all need to be, in a space that we're going to enjoy the ride with all the bumps and potholes and occasional flats. And we got to stop what we're doing and repair. And I think that's the biggest thing as we're aging, that we forget that it's okay to stop and repair and replenish and then continue on with our vibrancy.
yes,
Exactly. It is a key to recognize that it's okay. And I went through a lot of stuff. Heaven knows, I was ready to hang it up more than once. And fortunately, I guess it was my guardian angel, honestly, who showed up and said, "Karen, wait a day. So I said, okay, I'll wait a day. My world totally changed the next day. And it was like, oh, all right, there is help around me always.
yes,
I just needed to allow it to show up.
that's correct.
And it was heaven sent, absolute heaven sent. And I sound like I'm really spiritual here. I'm not in any way, but hey, accept the possibilities. The world is filled with possibilities, and nothing is impossible. It says, I'm possible. It's in the word, I'm possible. That's stolen from Audrey Hepburn, but it's so true.
I'm sure she won't mind.
Carrying on. And I think most of the people that come to me are stuck. They don't know what's going on. They are stuck. They don't know why. And indeed, I am that way myself. I didn't know why. And I didn't want to go deep, going through that hole, that never-ending hole, and reliving things. It just, it didn't compute for me. I knew it had to be easier. It had to be simpler. And so that's where my heart energy techniques came in, were making it simple, making it easier.
Do you think
and yeah, sometimes it's like, oh, golly. Do I think
the connections this morning are really, really challenging.
I have a question. Do you think because you decided to be open spiritually, because see, people get, I don't know about you, I'm very spiritual. I'm spiritual, and how can I explain it? And it can be a heathen. I'm heaven and earth, but I'm holy water and hellfire, because you can be both. I'm not religious. I'm just very spiritual. I believe in something bigger than me. I believe in giving gratitude to, the universe, to God, to the heavens. I believe that I alone cannot accomplish anything unless I have a belief system that will not fall to me. People will fall to me. I will fall to other individuals because we're human. So that's what I believe in. But you said that you learned, and I think that's the important part, is to share with others that it's okay to say, I didn't know that, but I'm going to get better at it. And I think that does come with age. That comes with when you weed out all the
Exactly.
unnecessary.
And be
Okay, is it me now?
Yeah,
Am I-
it absolutely does show up with age and recognizing. And I went through the same thing that most people.
Okay, this is
All right. Let's see. Okay, we're having a good time. It's part of life having the the tech issues, and
It
there's
is. It is.
snow and ice and everything where I am in Maine as well. So
Yeah, yeah. Look at, we had one of our
what
viewers.
my philosophy is okay. Reflected in my glasses, maybe. Oh, it is. It can be a challenge. The thing is, enjoy it. You know, whatever the challenge is, it's meant to be. It's all meant to be because they are learning experiences that we can take, embrace, move forward with, or take, embrace, love, and say, not now. Thank you. Put it on the shelf, throw it out. I don't need this
Yes.
anymore. And it is a good feeling. It's simply a good feeling to have all of that. And I think what happens quite often is, especially when we're younger, we're good daughters. We might have a family. We're good moms. We try and take care of everybody, our siblings, our parents, our everybody. And we try and take care of all of them. And in doing so, and we try and be good girls. I'm a former people pleaser and self-doubter. Huge. And it served me very, very well. But it didn't make me happy.
Yes.
And I didn't know who I was. When I woke up and found out, dang it, who the heck am I? I was listening to your intros of, I am. And I said, how do these people know that at that time? Who the heck am I? And then by allowing, I am love. I am me. No one else in the world is like me. Very similar, but not me. And
It's like our
I
fingerprint.
am good.
Exactly.
It is.
It
is.
When we deal with what we're dealing today with the beautiful women having problems with the internet, I see Ying is here. And my background noise, let me tell you, only a person who is insecure and lacking of rolling with the times will get upset. And as you see, we haven't done that here because that's reality. And if we talk about being authentic and if we talk about keeping it real, then we gotta also accept the facts that everything's not. And who do we want it to be perfect for? This Viva Cafe con Leche is the show where it's of accepting of where you are at the time. So I'm so happy you kept rolling with your conversations, even though the internet was going in and out, and that I would interject when I had contractors here in the kitchen, because that's what life is all about. If you get upset and if you expect life to be perfect, then you're lying to yourself, because the actual part of growth is saying that you don't have control over what happens, and you don't control how other humans deal with their reality. And I'm sorry that you went through so many years being a people pleaser. We were not allowed to do that. We were raised as survivors. So it was about my father's main lesson to us since we were little, and my sisters are on, is nunca te engañes. Since we were little, never lie to yourself. Never lie to yourself. If you live a life where you're not lying to yourself, then you can accept everything about you and make changes accordingly. So I think that when we come out of our shell and we admit that we were this way, don't admit that we were a certain way unless you know in your core that you have changed. So that's why today's conversation is perfect, because I have you beautiful ladies here saying it's okay to fall 7 times. Just rise with beauty and grace. So that's where I want to say thank you and welcome.
Dr. Ljung is in the house. Here we go. So why don't you introduce yourself to everybody?
Hello, I am Ynge Ljung, Ynge with a Y, acupuncture physician and naturopath. And well, it's a long travel. I'm 83 years old, going on 84 this year. And I heard Karen say that she was so depressed at 40. It was the same thing with me. And then I read Wayne Dyer's book, Zonas Erróneas, I think. I lived in Venezuela at the time. And that changed my life, really. And I realized, slap yourself for being so stupid, especially now being after 80. 40 is a baby. I mean, my oldest child is 55.
Did you hear what she said? 40 is a baby. Okay. Yes. For those of you that are in your 30s or 40s listening, 40 is a baby. So continue, doctor.
Yes, I agree.
And we hook ourselves up on stupid things. Oh, my nose is crooked or too big, or my ears stand out, or whatever it is. Who sees that more than you? You look yourself in the mirror, and people, apart from that, they don't look at you the same way, because this mirror picture is different from the real picture. And especially here, I think how we look, and that's not the main thing. It's not how we look. If we look great and have a sourpuss face, we are not beautiful. I think the first thing we have to do is to just put a smile on your face. Yes. People will smile back, and you will feel so much better. I do it all the time when I walk outside, and my former partner who now passed away, he always said, oh, all these black guys, they flirt with you, or they say hello to you. And yes, I smile at them, at anybody. It doesn't matter what gender or color or whatever.
Listen, there's nothing that makes a woman feel better is when you get, I mean, honestly, when you're paid attention to, when you get hit on, and especially as you get older.
Especially at my age, I mean, how people come up and say I look good or beautiful even.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, you do.
More than when I was 40.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's beautiful. When my grandma was in her 70s, I had asked her, I said, do you miss being alone? And she was like, no. And I said, do you miss, I asked her if she missed my grandfather. She said, no. And I said, do you miss having sex? I said, but anyway, you're too old for that. And she looked over at me. She was 75, 76. She looked over at me and she's like, are you crazy? I'll make a 17-year-old scream. And I love that. And, and I am like her. My spirit is very rambunctious. I'm not afraid of anything. I'm not afraid to initiate a conversation with a man or whatever. But I think we need, through storytelling, we need to share those stories as you just did, because there's no judgment in what you just said. I think it's beautiful. And we need to share more of that for the women who walk with insecurities and pretend that they're perfect, that they're okay with the world, because then they're lying to themselves, right? They don't grow. So I think this is conversations. I'm so happy hearing Dr. Ljung. This is perfect. So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, but this is, so let me ask you ladies this, right? So as what has changed for the two of you? For what is, when you think back when you were younger, and when you now that you are at the fabulous age that you are now, what insecurities have shifted for you? Like, what did you think of yourself younger that you don't feel that way anymore? And we don't like to look back and go, well, if I could go back in time, but sometimes it's kind of nice to think that, like, if I had the mindset that I have now and I was 20, oh, look out, like, what would the world look like, right? So what has shifted over the years for you? What was your mindset in your 20s versus your mindset now? Karen, you go first. Ooh, Karen's connection's not good either.
And there she goes.
Oh no, we can't hear you.
Muted.
Yeah, it's not. It's not even saying that it's muted. You're not muted. It's just not working. It's not coming through. Karen, you know what? Listen, do me a favor. Log off and then log back on, because that might actually help like literally like go off the video, like sign off and then sign back in with the link. That's usually what fixes it. We were hoping that Gulrukh would have done that, but she might not have been able to get back on. Her connection might have been really bad. Okay, so
with Gulrukh, I think she said there was construction happening now. That's why she had the mask on.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Correct. Yeah. So okay, so doctor, so go ahead. You answer that question. What insecurities did you have when you were younger that are no longer around?
First of all, I was married. I had a husband who always told me that you can't do anything. And it comes to a point when you believe that. So when I finally took the step and finished it, first of all, I was on my own. I didn't have any 3 kids, but no support, economical or otherwise. So everything was on me, and I did it. At the time I lived in Venezuela, I was a potter and an artisan. So I worked with my 2 hands very hard. It's not easy to have manual work and make enough money to live on, but I made it. So I think when you are in marriages where the husband supports the woman, it's also very different, because I think of course, I'm old, so my marriage was an old-fashioned marriage where husbands are the gods, and they do like doctors. They are looked up upon and were supposed to be looked up upon. And that takes you down.
Yes. And I got to tell you, when you say that you had an old-fashioned marriage, you'd be surprised how much of that still exists. It's just more modernized with, but there's still a lot of that stigma, that control, that societal understanding of how things should be in the woman's place, and actually now what we've noticed is the shift has become more, well, you work and do this. Yes. You work and take care of the kids. And so it's almost even more challenging for women these days, because, and some of them even have to make the money, like they're the ones that make most of the money. And that is the dynamic that has been put into place in their households. So we understand that. And we thank you for sharing that, because that is what often knocks women down.
But let's go back to, I like, that's true, because that's set like from our parents. You said back in your day, it's old fashioned. What would you say today to women who still use that as an excuse for not moving forward or leaving their relationship? Yes, because I can understand, like, and there's nobody around me that can control me but the choices I make for myself to do better, right? That's my generation. That's my upbringing. So what Badass Buddha said, so your question is, that is a very good question. When women today stay with that same mentality, Karen, Dr. Young, what advice would you give them today? And be real, like there's no nicety. Some women need to wake the hell up and stop living on excuses that's how they were raised and that's how they are. You know what? If you get reborn right now, this afternoon, say, I'm out. I don't want this. I've lived this way too long. And lose everything you have to lose so that you can gain everything you're supposed to.
Yes.
Absolutely. First of all, I think there should be a law.
I love that. I love that.
Yay, Karen's good. We hear you, Karen. Yay.
I think that first of all, before you get married, there should be a contract. I mean, have a contract instead of getting married that shows what I'm supposed to do, what you're supposed to do, and that we're supposed to support each other, and not that one is going to dominate the other person. And once you are in that, first of all, get out of that effing victim mentality.
Yes.
Oh, me, poor me. Oh, they are doing this.
Mhm.
I was in that myself. When and as I said, I read what was it in English? Your Erroneous Zones by Wayne Dyer. And that really took me out and made me stronger and made me stand up. But there is no excuse. We are not victims. It's a challenge. And that is what life is about, challenges. There are no real failures. That we have different experiences and supposedly we learn from it.
Yes.
If
But
we
that's the
don't,
operative
we-
word.
That's the key, isn't it?
That's the operative
That's
word.
the key. There
Do
are
we-
no failures.
There's no failures, but do we learn? See, it's so easy to play victim. And that's why this show was important, is to let women know, what's your favorite age? It don't matter how old you are. You can accomplish anything at any age. So what are we waiting for? And I think that's the question. What are we waiting for? There's so many victims with that mentality. And honestly, I really can't deal. I have a hard time dealing with people after the 5th conversation. They're telling me the same shit. Because now you're wasting my time because you don't want to get out of where you're getting out of, right?
Correct.
So like,
Yes.
I think we need to be real and just put it out there, because
and not lose so much time, because we know that the day we die, we don't regret the things we did. We regret the things we did not do, and let so much time fly by feeling sorry for ourselves. It doesn't pay off. It doesn't make you grow.
The fear keeps us. It doesn't. The fear keeps us stuck, and all fear is unknown, which is, we don't know 1 second from. We don't know if this is even being broadcast, for heaven's sakes. We don't know anything ahead. And why bother fearing it? Let's go with it. Let's enjoy it. And let go of that victimhood. People would tell me, Karen, you're playing the victim. I am not a victim. I'm not a victim. I don't feel like a victim in any way, shape, or form. And then finally, after a possibility and looking at things around me, not dwelling on it or anything, but looking at the things around me, and noticing how I spoke, how I interpreted others speaking to me, and allowing others to try and control me, controlling my honest. We only can control ourselves. And if we can let go of trying to control others, then life becomes a whole lot easier when we recognize that everyone is doing the best they can at this moment. Is this one moment. So let's make it as good as possible and move forward, always moving forward.
Exactly.
if you want to dwell on something that is not serving you, or something happened, or grieving, okay, but set a time limit for how
Yes.
long you're going to grieve on that today.
That's correct. That's correct, because we ruminate, and we women are notorious for this. We ruminate on things, and then, like Gladiator Guru says, it's like, enough already. You've had this conversation. I've had this conversation with you 5 times. Do something about it. If you keep talking about it, you obviously don't want it there. And I taught for almost 20 years. I taught post-secondary. And so I had students from 18 and up, and I was teaching things like anatomy and physiology and pathophysiology and neuroanatomy and physiology. And I used to hear this a lot from the students, especially the women, and that were like over 45. They would say, oh, I can't keep up. I have a slower brain. I don't remember as well as these 20-something-year-olds. And I would stop them. I would say, listen, let me tell you something. That is, if you believe that, then it's gonna be true for you. I said, you come into this. It is proven with research that there are certain functions that slow down a little bit as we age, but there's so many factors that could change that. It could be that the you drink more water, you eat better. I mean, you exercise more, so those can increase it, your chances of functioning better. But you come in with life experience, and you learn and memorize differently, and that's all you have to know. Is just, it's a little different than the 20-something-year-old. And the funny part is, once that conversation was had in class, outwardly to everybody in the class, the women that were over 45, over 40, over 35, whatever, killed it on the exams. Like, they would constantly, because number one, they were more invested. They were like, this is a change of life career for me. I'm going to do something different. I'm paying for this out of pocket. You'd be damn straight that I'm going to be focused on this. And the 20-something-year-olds were sort of like, not that they weren't good, and I've had plenty of them that were phenomenal, but they had a different approach. They were like, well, this is great. This is what I want to do. I'm happy to be here. But like, I have this other life, I do this. And so when we limit ourselves by our age, I can't do this, I can't do that, you will be correct. It's just like anything in life, right? What is it? If what we think we can or can't, was it Henry Ford's quote? Whether we think we can or can't, we're correct. Like, you are correct. If you think you can or you think you can't, you're correct.
Dr. Young, you had a question, and then we'll go back to what the badass said, because that was good, Laura.
Thank you.
It's a lot of static on the line.
Yeah, Karen, do me a favor, mute your mic for a second. Let me see if it's coming from your ends. Can you just mute your mic for a second?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. All right, that's what it was. I couldn't mute it. No, it's still doing it. No, I don't know where it's coming from. That's weird. Okay.
I think also often people or women, they have kids, and normally in the mid-40s, the kids are kind of out of the house or on their way out. And there is a big void. And if they're not working, or if they're working, I think there's still so many things they used to do that they don't do. They don't move as much. They maybe eat more sugar and wheat. And that causes foggy thinking. So it's really, if you don't use your brain, you lose it. It's the same as with sex. You don't use it, especially for men. They don't use it, they lose it.
I hope that's not true in my case, but thank you. So I'll have to take that into consideration. And so
No. What I'm saying, it is for I don't know about your man, but if he's no problem with, then he's not losing it because he's using it.
Oh, he was using it all right. Let me tell you. I'll just leave it at that.
That's what I mean. When you don't use it, you lose it.
Mm-hmm.
And also, as you say, you can. If you can't, you can't. It's what you're telling yourself. And I think maybe women more than men tell themselves that they can't. And I don't know, the solution is maybe to force yourself to do something, and then all of a sudden you find that, oh, it wasn't that hard. Oh, this was fun.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I think Lori mentioned that it's proven by research that by a certain age, I believe like drinking enough water and everything, and I believe that to an extent, but I believe more. I'm just watching the Latinas that I know that are older and reading up just the 80-something-year-old that graduated college. I think that when you're aligned, body, mind, and spirit, that age is nothing but a number, right? You can have sex till you're 100 years old and reach an orgasm, because it's the whole thing coming forth saying, I got this. I don't care who don't like it. And you're right. When we're my 20s was raising my kids into midway to my 30s. Then I became a grandmother. And then in my 40s, the whole 10 years of my 40s, I was a caregiver. And then now I'm like, whoo, you can't stop me. Because now it's my turn. Like my assignments were fulfilled. And now it's my turn. And sometimes, ladies, I'll sit here and says, what the hell am I going to do with myself right now? And then I'm like, oh, I'm going to walk Portugal to Spain. And that's what I'm going to do. So it's like, what is there? When we say, I would love to do this, but let me tell you, when my kids were young and I had to do something, I got a babysitter. You know, if my husband didn't want to go with me, I'm like, I'll tell you all about it when I come back. Did it cause problems? Of course, but not for me, because I did what I set out to do. And you know, that was always been a blessing and a curse for me, because that's just how I was. And that's why.
But I think that was more of a blessing, though. We've talked about this, Gladiator Guru, because I think you are different than most. I would say I'm just going out on a limb here, and I think that our guests would agree that for most women, you are a minority in that sense, because most women do hesitate. Most women would be wanting to do that, and then their significant other says, well, who's going to watch the kids? You're going to take them with you, and they play small. And in what you call a blessing and a curse ended up being a tremendous blessing for your children, because you raised your children a certain way and they're amazing, and then your grandchildren are that way. So the key piece here, though, is to not say, well, you know, she did that when she was in her 20s. She's always been that way. And I've not been that way. But we see the conversations coming up, like Iritza talking about how she's, many of her know that she's dealt with depression. She was non-existent. She couldn't even get out of bed. And now she's like, I'm here and I'm fabulous and F everybody and I'm going to live my life. And that's what we have to say. I don't care when you wake up. That's the bottom line here.
Just wake
it
up.
Doesn't matter when you wake up. Just wake the fuck up. That's it. And live your life and say, I don't care. And if somebody turns around and say, well, you're old and what are you going to do now? Say, what can't I do? And I'm old. You got to see what I can do. You couldn't keep up with me. And if you are not at that state, if you're physically, you let yourself go, if your health is not gone, if your health is there, if you're gone, you're dead. If your health is not as good as it used to be, or you don't feel like you look as good as you used to, then do something about it. Start eating better, start working out, start educating yourself, start treating yourself nicely, practice self-care, self-love. You'll be surprised how beautiful you will look on the outside when you start working on the inside. And then unleash yourself to the world. Do not succumb to the fact that you are a certain age and it's too late and I have all these health issues. Do what you can to heal yourself. The body is amazingly resilient. And Dr. Ljung and I can both attest to that, because we've studied this. We've studied this for years, and the body is ridiculously resilient. We undercut it all the time. We always rely on outside sources to solve our problems. If you're in pain and your hip is bad, then do something about it and start walking, and not start walking, but do something about it, and then it won't hurt anymore. And don't give up is what we're saying. Don't say it's too late.
And you ladies are prime examples today.
Emotion.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Karen. Go ahead.
Yeah. Recognize that emotions are what our bodies are telling us. If we are not recognizing the situation that we are living in, if we are not doing something about a situation, the way we're eating, the relationships, the what we're feeling bad with ourselves, our bodies, and we're not taking all of the signals that are coming to us, then our bodies start getting sick. And that is the key. So recognizing that when we are sick, yes, colds, all kinds of broken limbs, but ask yourself, what else on? What are the emotions that I was going through? Who was I hanging out with? And look and see what your body has been trying to tell you, or the universe is trying to tell you, and you weren't listening. So you need to, it had to hit you over the head with a sledgehammer and hurt your body. So let's do, so as you were saying, Badass Buddha, indeed, let's just do something about it. Recognize the positive, and have to be deep or hard. Yes. Yeah.
Yes, I agree what Karen says. But we have to recognize that depression, for example, comes from the gut. It is what we are eating that is eating us, because all the feeling good hormones are almost all are produced and created in the gut, not in the head. So when people are depressed and they get a pill to get zombie, it's the wrong place they're looking at. They should be looking at the digestion, what they eat, and what comes out, and all these things, and not just give in to depression. They can do something about it.
And I totally agree.
Too down.
I totally agree. I totally agree. One of the things against is that chat, because I'm not a nutritionist, or anything else, but I went into depression for many years, and in a flat line, I call it. It was almost like I had a lobotomy. I wasn't happy. I wasn't sad. I wasn't anything. It was just flat line, nothing. And I thought, this went on. I had a huge toolbox of tools that I could use. I did them all. Nothing was working. Finally, I sat down and I let go. And I said to myself, I said, this is no way to live. I do not want to live if this is it. And I had a lot of years ahead of me, and I knew that. My family lives into their hundreds. So and all of a sudden, I heard a voice behind me that said, grape juice. I said, excuse me? I said, grapefruit juice. And I thought, well, I have grapefruit juice. I don't drink it, but I'll go to the refrigerator and I'll get it. And I took 2 or 3 sips of it, and it was back. And I said, okay. I spoke to a nutritionist, and she said, I'm so happy. Your body needed the alkaline from the grapefruit juice.
Yes. I was going to mention
Dr. Sebi. So important.
Yes.
So important.
That was excellent, because me too, need to be reminded how all illnesses start from our gut. Everything. And then we forget, and then we go eat that delicious whatever it is that we crave. Right? So that was excellent. And the alkaline, yes, I was going to mention Dr. Sebi. Dr. Sebi's always spoken about the alkaline diet and what we shouldn't take, that the gut would work better. So, oh my God, this was wonderful. Anything, Buddha, you'd like to add?
No, I mean, we're at the top of the hour. We had a lot of technical difficulties, and we really appreciate all of our guests being patient, because I don't know what was going on this morning. It was everywhere across the board.
Oh, but they loved it.
And as a result, though, we're going to definitely have each of you on. We had talked about that anyway. We do roundtable discussions about maybe 2-3 times a year. But we do love the one-on-one with our guests, right? So we're going to have both of you on at separate times, because the tribe is going to want you back, and especially because we had so many technical issues in the beginning. So, and you could see, but just by some of the comments that this is really important. We were just starting to get into it, and now it's at the end, and especially because Dr. Ljung had so much trouble getting on. So we do want to thank the both of you for coming on, and we're going to set up very soon, sometime toward the end of summer, the beginning of fall, have you both on, like I said, separately. But really, I mean, you're very inspirational. You're both absolutely gorgeous. And I know, we don't want to focus on outside so much, but let's be realistic. We do love looking good. We do. And when we can do it naturally, when we can do it because of the energy that we put out, the foods that we're putting in, and then it comes out as this beautiful physical being because of who we are on the inside. I think that is what the big message is here, because we miss it so often in society. We are always looking at the outside. What can I do to myself to make myself look better, rather than focusing on the inside, whether it's our gut, so our physiological, how our body functions, or our mental and emotional well-being, and our spirit. So thank you very much, ladies, for representing that so well. We really, really appreciate it.
Yes. Thank you.
Thanks so much for having us. Oh my gosh.
We can't wait to have you on again. This was phenomenal. And there was a little delay because of the different parts we're in, but it was still phenomenal. The clients love it. Our tribe loved it. And everything that the Buddha said, kudos. And I wanted to add discernment. When you get older, you realize it's not about judging. It's about judging well. And people just judge. And when you judge, then you put frowns on your own face, and you take away from that innate inner beauty, that feeling of I can float in the clouds because I am grateful. I am appreciative, and I am magically orgasmic. So anywhere I go, I'm going to be who I am. We're like fingerprints on a hand. We're all different. Let's just learn more acceptance, less judging and criticizing, and more dating of our souls. Let's date ourselves. At this age, you know what? I'm in love with me. With all my little arthritis pain and my back pain. I love me. And I do what I do. And I think we all have to learn that very valuable step that we forgot since our parenting, our marriages. Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much.
Yes. Thank you, ladies, for coming on. And if you reach out to them, the clickable links are in the comments, so you can go directly to them. Okay. And where is it? Let's see, who would I put in? And please do so. And then we're going to have them back on again. So don't worry and stay tuned for that. And it's going to be another fabulous conversation. So Dr. Ljung, you want to say one last thing before we go?
This was very nice. And for the alkaline, have a glass of warm water with lemon in the morning to start the day, to cleansing and getting. Yes.
I love my warm water.
Anybody can do that.
I love my warm water. People always get annoyed with me. They're like, how did you drink that? I'm like, you're not drinking it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I drink hot water with turmeric and lemon. Sometimes just the lemon. Sometimes, just rose petals and sage. But I drink the hot water. I keep it hot and I drink it and I love it. Great advice.
Wonderful. All right. Well, thank you so much, ladies. Yeah. You both have an absolutely fabulous weekend. And everyone, the tribe here on YouTube, Facebook, and Clubhouse, thank you so much for being here today. And have an absolutely fabulous weekend. So from the Badass Buddha, remember, be you, be real, and be extraordinary.
And from the Gladiator Guru, mi gente, look around and breathe in the beauty. and breathe out the bullshit. Namaste.
Namaste, everyone.